Lenny James as writer and star, Suranne Jones as a desperate mother, and a complex mystery with a missing child at the heart of it. There are so many elements of Save Me, Sky Atlantic that point towards a guaranteed quality TV moment that it would have been shocking if it failed to live up to expectations. Instead, this is a well-functioning, gripping thriller that sets up a convincing world for its Deptford Lothario Nelson, Nellie, Rowe, then threatens to violently dismantle it piece by piece. James is Nellie, a man about town who loves drinking and women, of whom there are several in his life, though none are yet wise to his philandering ways. Nellie lives a relatively charmed life in his neighborhood, breezing around the houses and flats on his estate with a smile on his face for everyone. He's the kind of decent bloke who steps in at his local when a stroppy student refuses to take his spliff outside, who does his girlfriend's even like round when she's too ill. There are signs that life might not be so peachy, the slug of whiskey in his morning tea that shows he loves more than an afternoon pint, the temper that flares when things don't go his way in the pub. Though Nellie initially gives the impression that he could talk his way out of a paper bag, albeit one with a bottle in it, his happy-go-lucky facade falls away when the police march into his flat and arrest him on suspicion of abducting his estranged daughter. Save Me treads familiar ground in some respects. The missing and Kiri both pivoted on the mystery of an abducted child, but there are clever layers that give it its own identity. The class conflict between students and locals in the pub is well handled and even funny, particularly in a karaoke scene, which turns the choice of Mumford Lenny James as Nelson, Nellie, Rowe photographed Ross and Claire, Justin Downing. It is smart, too, to have Suranne Jones as Claire, Nellie's ex and the mother of Jody, the missing girl, as a woman who lives a plummy middle-class life, with a swimming pool in the grounds of her massive house in Surbiton. You get the impression that Jones could act grief in her sleep, but she is impressively subtle here, opting for muted panic rather than hysteria. Their relationship adds yet another layer of intrigue. Given their differences, what were they doing together in the first place, and why did she warn police that the affable-seeming Nellie had a cruel streak? Who has made it look as if Nellie kidnapped his daughter, and where is she now? My money is on the husband, so far. It is always the husband somehow. There are parts that veer towards the cheesy, the all walks of life estate scenes, the slow-mo tai chi, the bullying copper who sneers at Nellie. But the cast is excellent and the central mystery strong. When you've got Stephen Graham as a pub regular who almost fades into the background, it's obvious that his character will have something more to do with it. But the entire cast pulls its weight, from Susan Lynch as the barmaid to Carrie Godlyman as the spurned ex. All episodes drop online at once, though I suspect it will be more rewarding to let the story unravel week by week, the old-fashioned way, rather than gorging to get to the end. It's still bringing in the viewers, but as Benidorm ITV kicks off its 10th series, it is now limping towards the Sun Loungers rather than taking a running jump into the pool. Manageress Joyce is getting married to Monty, whose wedding planning skills make him an ideal candidate for Don't Tell the Bride. He plans to tie the knot on a boat, but Joyce gets seasick, and they end up stranded on Peacock Island, with flamboyant and hopefully just plain buoyant Kenneth their only hope of rescue. You could always see the jokes coming from the bar on Benidorm, but this time they are not so much signposted as shouted in increasingly loud English, as if to a Spanish person who doesn't speak the language. Benidorm was once a better sitcom than it was given credit for, but its glory days have long since fallen away. This episode was a slog, because, with all the goodwill in the world, it seemed as if the writers had forgotten to pack the jokes.